So we're really lucky, though, with the Haleakala Silversword. We've managed to get...
At Haleakala National Park on Maui, park officials are showing Congressman Neil Abercrombie a nursery where the park's endangered plants, like the silversword, are propagated. The park reports success at restoring endangered plant populations in Haleakala and protecting them from invasive species.
We've managed in this park to get a lot of these resources protected from the feral animals and some of the other invasive species issues in time. So it hasn't gotten down to the real critical level. What I was saying about the silversword is up on Mauna Kea, there's a close relative of the Haleakala silversword, the Mauna Kea silversword, and it's in a lot worse shape because it hasn't been afforded the protection of the national park. You know, there's, a lot of work that's been done on that plant, but the population got so low. Imagine the situation of a plant that maybe takes 20-something years to bloom, and you have to have two of them within pollination distance of each other.
Wow.
So the lower the numbers you get, the less probability you're going to get outcrossing and get viable seed from any one flowering event.
What would it take to get that regenerated?
There's a group.
Could nurseries like yours help with that?
Nurseries can definitely help, and trying to understand the genetic situation a little bit better as well. They're working really hard on the Big Island on that. There's a whole group that's dealing with it.
Haleakala's silversword, one of the park's most famous denizens, is thriving in this nursery, and park officials have also successfully propagated another endangered plant, the Haleakala shadea, found only on these crater walls.
And Congressman, another thing that this park has done pretty actively is to take the seeds and grow silver swords and replant them. And then when they bloom, they put out the seeds, and that I think has been very effective in this park. We have several nurseries in the park where we're doing it for several different endangered species. What was the species we just replanted that's like?
Shadea.
Yeah,
the Shadea haleakalensis, the red geranium,
very rare.
The geranium multiflorum.
Right. So we grow it in our nursery and then take it out and hope that it'll start,
so you have enough
reproducing on its own.
You have enough nursery people?
Well, a lot of the new staff that's hired are going to be the people helping to put the plants in the ground. It's not a problem growing them.
Actually, I haven't. Naaman, when they do the big plantings, they'll put it out to all divisions. It's like, we need help. And so far, I've always been too busy. But Naaman went out and helped planted some of the shadea. And the way we kicked off, it was really kind of neat. The way we kicked off the Centennial Project is, these are not new partnerships we're dealing with. East Maui Watershed Partnership, MISC, the county, we've been working together for years. So we took it as an opportunity to celebrate the success of our partnerships, and we went up and planted silver swords.
The replanting of the nursery's offspring enables the park to strengthen its partnerships with community groups, partnerships that will be tapped to help restore a large parcel of undeveloped land known as Nu'u Ranch. Congressman Abercrombie and Hawaii's congressional delegation secured $3.3 million from the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund to acquire the property on behalf of the National Park Service. The property expands the park by more than 4,100 acres from the rim of Haleakala Crater at 6,000 feet elevation to the south coast of Kaupo. The land is home to rare birds and animals and several significant Hawaiian cultural sites.
Like Dominic said, Nu'u is about a little over 4,000 acres that was just added to the park in January of this year. Pretty damaged land, quite frankly. It's had decades of cattle grazing, goats. There's a zillion goats out there. Axis deer, pigs. But we see it very exciting that we go in and get rid of the invasives and do a restoration. And we want this island, this community, to be involved in that.
Part of that alien plant control project also includes what happens after we control the alien plants. Because controlling alien plants is just one part of it. You get rid of a pocket of alien plants, what's going to happen to the land that you've just cleared with those plants are controlled? Well, you're going to have to do something with it, or just another alien's going to come in. And probably be a lot more aggressive and outcompete anything else that we're trying to put in the ground. So we do have a research portion of that project to see what kind of restoration work we can also do. And that's going to happen
So you got
primarily in the-
removal and you got restoration.
Removal and restoration with
and
this
there's
project.
another piece.
Yeah, so that's gonna happen in Kipahulu Valley and in the rainforest areas surrounding the windward side of this park, this mountain.
Meanwhile, the park maintains its watch on invasive species. One invader that's attracted attention is the Argentine ant, which could become a greater threat to the silversword. The park uses insecticides to keep the ant population and threat in check.
There's no magic bullet that's gonna eradicate it yet. After all, the Argentine ant is a worldwide problem. It's in southern Europe. The biggest colony ever found spreads from Spain to the boot of Italy. One colony.
Isn't that something?
And how do you tell it's a colony? If you take an ant from one certain place, you put it in another, if it's attacked, it's from a different colony because of the pheromone it gives off. Well, the ants weren't being attacked when they put them in all the different locations within that area I just mentioned. So it's considered one colony. Ever since I've been at this park, from 1978, all the way till now, we have had researchers trying to find that magic bullet for the Argentine ant. And there's worldwide research going on at the same time,
Nothing's
especially in
working
southern
yet.
Europe.
Well, how are you protecting the silversword then? Just routine, regular inspections to see whether anything's getting near them?
The primary way we protected the silverswords was to fence this park and get rid of the animals that were eating it.
Right.
Yeah.
And having a lot of
But
more
the ants
patrol
won't
and
pay any attention
education.
to that.
No, but they're not quite yet at the main silversword colonies.
Right.
The constant threat of invasive species remains a priority of the park and Congressman Abercrombie. The congressman says Haleakala National Park keeps a unique and irreplaceable part of Hawaii's past alive, and protecting the park makes an important statement about who we are and what we value.